All right, here's a quick lesson on how to use Tithely to make your weekly or recurring donations for the offertory for the tithe for the church. So you start on our church website or scanning the QR code that will be in every pew, which you will see later, and you go to firstbaptistchurchchelmsford.org/give. That brings up this page here, and you can click on Give, or you can click the link right there. It looks very similar on your phone, or if you bring your iPad to church, that works too. So you'll click Give, and it will open up this little form. Looks just like many e-commerce forms that you use for shopping online. You'll need to sign up before you can start using it, so let's do that first. You can use phone verification, so it will text you a digital code and you'll put that in. You can have them email you a link that you can use to sign up, or you can use Google, Facebook, or Apple to sign up and it'll link those with those accounts, or just the standard email and password. Any of those is fine. And then once you click get started, it'll have you put your name and your address and your email and your phone number, all the usual things. So let's pretend we've done all that already. Log in, and you'll be able to log in. I've found that if I go to this website with my phone, it knows that it's me still, and it asks me for a PIN that lets me log in without having to go through all these steps again. So I'm going to close this and hit the give button again. Right here is where you'll put the amount of your tithe. So we're going to pretend that you are an extremely generous donor who has pews named after you, and you show up for church in a golden Mercedes, and here it is, $5,000 a week. How very, very nice of you. You can choose the fund that the offering is going to. So the weekly tithe is where we assume everyone's going to put them, or you can choose diaconate fund on a communion Sunday for the second collection. General fund is just sitting there. It's not being used for anything particular right now. Once we start doing more one great hour of sharing, the Christmas and Easter flowers, things like that, we'll add those funds on here too so that there can be online donations. You can choose to make it a one-time, weekly, bi-weekly, first and 15th, or monthly. And when you choose any of those, you can choose which day of the week. So for example, if you want it to be every Sunday morning, whether you remember or not when you're at church, it's already taken care of. You can do that. If you want it to correlate with paychecks, you want to correlate it to the day of the month that you pay your bills, whatever works for you, or just one time. That's fine too. Once you have an account, it'll have all of your contact information already there. And once you add a payment method, that will be here as well. In this last spot that you need to pay attention to, it asks if you would like to cover the processing fees. So as we all know, when you do online shopping or any kind of e-commerce, there are fees from the credit card company. These are the fees that Tithely uses to support the fact that they exist. This is a free service to us as a church, so you're able to either cover the fees or not. That's a scary number, 140, 170, because we made this a very generous donation. Let's pretend that you tithe $20 a week. Awesome. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate your support. Down here, you can see the fees would be 87 cents. You can choose to include that, and then it would say give 2087. You can choose not to, and that's okay too. You do what's going to work best for you with your tithes. And then there is a spot for a memo. So if we were using this for something such as the flowers or one great hour of sharing, you could add a little note there. And when I look at this on the other end, I'll make sure I pass it along to whomever needs to know that information. And if there's forms, please fill out the forms with Linda or whomever is organizing the flower collection. But that would allow us to match them up too. And then you would just hit give, and there you go. It'll be all set. You'll receive an email that will confirm it, just like a receipt for any other e-commerce transaction. If you have questions about it, you can ask me, and I will do my best to answer them. And like I said, it becomes very straightforward and very simple once it's already set up. If I pull this up on my phone, it asks me for a PIN, and I'm already ready. It'll have my debit card in there. It has my name and information. I mentioned a QR code, and here it is. This will be on cards in the pews next to the Bibles and hymnals. And this will allow you, if you didn't bookmark the website or you don't want to type it all in, that's also fine. This will allow you to simply scan it, and your phone will pop open with the website for donations. There is a Tithely app, but we are choosing not to pay for that service at this point in time because we are a small church and we don't need to pay that subscription fee. So we're sticking with the free option. So this QR code will take you to the same website you just saw with the same little form that pops up, and it'll allow you to make your tithe and offering through this. This will be on a little card, like I said, in each pew, and that way you have it there every week. And if we have visitors to the church or people here for a special event, they'll also be able to scan that QR code if they'd like. So, like I said, if there's any questions, feel free to ask about them. And it is on the website at firstbaptistchurchchelmsford.org/give. Thank you very much for your generosity now and always. We are the little church with the big heart.